Hello, hello, friends. It's Dion with the Blushing Mint. Welcome back. Today we are going to be adding pockets and tucks and things to the inside of our folio. If you'll remember from the last video, I gave you the basics on how to create this folio from one file folder. And I left you where it was time to add, to line all your pages and whatnot. And so I'm picking back up. I have covered all of my pages or all of my flaps and whatnot here. And then I thought, well, now it is time to add the extra tucks, the pockets, etc. And so I'm bringing you along for the next part of this project. I hope you guys are well. I appreciate you being here joining me today. And I hope that you take something away from this little project and you learn something and find some creative ways to use simple items that you have around your house, like a manila file folder and some paper. So I have chosen a sheet of a heavier weight copy or a heavier weight scrapbook paper. It's not the heaviest weight, but for this project, it's going to work just fine for me. And so it coordinates, and so I'll show you. I used a hodgepodge page on the front here, and then on my two inside flaps, which are also the back. So I basically used one full sheet of paper, and I covered all three of these flaps here. And then inside, I used another piece that is the same from the front for the inside here. And then I found another coordinating page to do the two flaps and the underneath of the top flap. And then I have highlighted all the tabs in a completely different color, which is the yellow, and it all just kind of coordinates. So now what we're going to do is we are going to be adding all of the extra little things like the side tucks, the pockets, and the top tucks here. So that's our goal for today. These are all fairly easy to do, but we're going to do it together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on my front side, and I want to create a side tuck. And my side page here is about 3 1/4, and so I want my tuck spot to be about a 1 1/4 inch. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut a strip of this paper here, just at, let's just go 1 1/2, just for ease of measuring. Let's just go 1 1/2. So 1 1/2 inch strip here, and the dimension or length that I'm working with here is 7 7/8. 7 7/8, and that's because we had cut that 1/8 inch off of that top in order for it to fold under the thing there. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to get my little circle punch here, and I'm going to tab punch my hole. And you know what? I actually am going to cut 2 of these at a time. I'm backtracking here for just a second. So let me cut another 1 1/2 strip. I'll show you why here in just a second. This is me crafting as I go, friends. I remember what I was thinking in the middle of it and have to change my plans. So 7 7/8 here. All right, now I'm gonna put these 2 strips together, and I'm gonna take my whole my little circle, and this is where I put my thumb spot. And so if I do both of them together, I know that my thumb spots are going to be even in my journal. If I have them side by side or whatever, I know they're going to be even. So that is why I do that. Okay, so I'm going to ink these up just so you can see the definition of where they're laying about here. Okay, so my first one here, I want to have on my front flip out. And so all you do with these is glue on the 3 sides that do not have the thumb hole, basically. Hold those down. Wipe off any excess glue there. All right, so there is our first tuck. Then we're going to go inside here, and I am going to put this other tuck on the inside flap. And ink it up as well. And you're going to laugh when I do this because you're going to be like, Dion, guess what? They're not the same when I flip it upside down because clearly I don't know how to punch in the center. Remember how I tell you I have the crookedest eye? So anyway, whatever. We're going with it, friends, because that's just how it is. These are prototypes anyway. It's all good. So again, we're going to glue our 3 sides. And we're going to glue that right along the edge. Get rid of any of our excess glue. All right, so now we have our two tuck pockets. Now we are going to make pockets for inside here. And to do that, I measure, and I'm dealing with a little under 3 1/4, so let's go 3 1/8. And I want my pockets to be 2 1/2. So if I need 3 1/8 by 2 1/2, I need to add an inch to each, an inch to the side, so that's 4 1/8, and I need to add a half to the bottom, so that's 3. So 3 by 4 1/8. Three by 4 1/8. All right, so now I need my scoreboard. Here. Set my little, and what I'm going to do is on my long side, that should be 4 1/8. I'm going to, oh, here I am looking for my little tool and it's already sitting in there. So I'm going to score the side at a half, each side at 1/2. And I'm going to score across one edge at a half. And then we're going to fold these up. Fold at each score line here. And then what we do is we take our scissors and we cut at an angle on both corners. Just mitering that edge here. And then also we come out at the corner at the top as well at a diagonal. And what this does is this gives us basically a gusseted pocket. This basically is a gusseted pocket, and that allows us to put more things inside our pocket. So that's what this is doing. So now I just want to put a touch of glue down here in each corner, and you always fold your sides in first and your bottom in second. And that is so that when you put things into your pocket, if the bottom was folded in first, the things that you tucked into it would hang up, could possibly hang up on that bottom. So if you put that bottom in first, it's going to slide right down through there, okay? Now, I want to ink my, first off, I want to cut a little center thumb hole indicating that it's a pocket. Okay. And then I'm going to ink this all up good. I re-inked my my stamp pad, and man, I got a little extra ink in there because man, it is sloppy. It's sloppy, but it was in desperate need of inking. Okay, so anyway, it's fine. So remember, this is just a prototype, not selling this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to apply glue on the edges of this pocket here. But you don't want to get too close because you don't want to seal up the pocket when we're applying it to our page. So I'm going to put this one down here just at the bottom. Hold that in place for a second or two. Wipe out any excess glue. Make sure I didn't glue my pockets shut here. There we go. Okay, so that is pocket one. And then we're going to have our other pocket on this side. So we're going to do the same thing. We've got another piece here. And it needs to be cut down to 4 1/8. Because we have 3 1/8. Oh, I better measure that side. I want to measure that side because sometimes with all the folding and the paper and whatnot, it can get a little, it can come off a little different. But that's perfect. 3 1/8. So I'm going to cut that at 4 1/8. And then we're going to bring that to our scoreboard here, and we're going to see, I lose my my little score here. Okay, so at a 1/2 inch, at a 1/2 inch, and a 1/2 inch here. Okay. And then we fold, fold, and fold, 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 and fold. And then again, we cut at an angle right to the edge of our pocket there, and here, and here, and here. And then from our top corner here, like that. Put our little drop of glue here. Fold our bottom up. Cut a little thumb hole. And ink away. Ink our little edges. All right, and now this one is going to come over on this side here. And just thinking, friends, sorry, thinking. All right. And it is going to go over here. Like so. All right, so now we have our holder for our journal here. We have a pocket, a tuck, a pocket, and then in here we can do a number of different things in here. So we have our, we still have our, let me grab them, our leftover pieces from our manila file folder, and we could take and we could create a belly band here. But whatever we do here, we want to make sure that we have another tab like this right at the top, so that anything that we are putting, let me show you. Anything that we are putting in a pocket or a belly band or whatever, we want to make sure that when this journal is closed and moving about, that whatever is in there does not fall out. So we want this little tuck piece at the very top to protect any of our contents of our pockets or anything like that. So whatever we do, we need to make sure that we have that piece in place. So I'm thinking, that we go ahead and we create our pocket and our little tab up there now. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now this should be 4.5 inches wide. Yep. And so we can make it just slightly smaller than that. It doesn't have to be right at 4.5. So I'd say let's make it 4.25 inches wide. And we want it to be approximately at least 1 inch long. So let's do 1.5 inches by 4.25. So let's go 1 3/4. I make stuff up as I go, guys. 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and then I need to score that at, and I only need to score, I'm only going to score this at 1/4 inch because it's really basically just protecting, it's not really holding anything, it's just a protection thing. So it doesn't have to have a super wide base on it or anything. So I'm going to fold that, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to miter that corner just a little bit so it has just a little nicer presence underneath of it when, not that it matters at all. And then I'm also going to take my corner rounder and I'm going to round the bottom corners here, and I'm going to ink it up. And across the top. Okay, and then again, we're going to glue this from the back. And I want to glue this fairly close to the top edge of our book here. That way we get the maximum height use of our pocket here. And this is just, remember, this is just to hold those items in place so nothing falls out. So now, because it's a tuck, I want to actually just glue down a little bit of the sides here to create that tuck shape, so then those items won't, so then it won't flip up by the weight of things and still have things fall out. I want it to be a tuck spot, not something that is gonna flip up or open. Okay, so now we've got our tuck spot here. And then now, do we want to do a belly band or do we want to do a pocket? This is the question, friends. This is the question. I think we'll go with a pocket. So again, we're going to go with that 4 1/4 pocket, and let's make this a 3-inch pocket. So we need 3 1/2 by 4 by 5 1/4. Get the correct apparatus for the job here, which is my paper cutter. So I'm going to go 5 1/4. By 3 1/2. Okay. And then I'm going to score at the half and the half and across the bottom at the half. All right, and again, fold, 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 and miter. And take our thumb hole here. And our ink. And ink all our edges. All right, then 2 little drops of glue here at the bottoms so that our little flap flips up there. And then we are just going to glue our sides and our bottom. And we're going to put that in place. Hold our corner edges just to make sure they're stuck down good. All right, so now let me set a few of these things aside here and clean this up a second. All right, so now we have our front flap, a pocket with a tuck for tags, a pocket, a tuck, a pocket, a tuck, and a place for our journal. So from here, it's just a matter of adding your ephemera and, you know, any journaling tags. You could, bookmarks. You could add family photos. You could add letters. You can create a journal. I mean, the possibilities are absolutely endless when it comes to creating or using folios. I am going to show you quickly how I add the how I do the little policy envelope type attachments here. So all I do to do that is I just take a piece of our manila file folder, if it is wide enough. Yep. And I cut 4 circles. Okay, and I glue them together, like so. You see that? Yeah. Just glue it right to the desk. That's why I have a silicone mat, man. Let me tell you, it saves me more than you know. Okay, so I glue the 2 together. And this is just added strength, is really all this does, is this just strengthens that, gives it a little bit more stability. And then I decide what color of paper I want to use for my cover of it. And let's see what I have left here. I'm looking at my scraps, what I have for scraps. I think I'll go ahead and use this one. And then I need to cut a circle there. And I'll do another one from this one up here. All right, and then we just glue those on. And this essentially is creating basically a little button, so to speak. And we're going to ink our edges. And on a project like this, I feel like the inking of the edges really just highlights. So it doesn't matter if you're using a vintagey feel paper like I did here, or if you're using a more fun, festive feel. I feel like the inking of the edges and whatnot really just set off and enhance the fact that, hey, this is an interactive piece, so to speak, you know, because everything that's highlighted creates kind of an interactive like feature. So I feel like even though a lot of people would say it creates grunginess or whatever, I think it's more of a highlight. It's more of a, hey, pay attention to this particular thing. That's my feeling. So now I have a little small paper punch here. I don't know if you can see. It's basically just a little button. It's just a little one, and I want to find the center-ish of my button, and I'm going to poke my little hole there. And then I want to find the center of my flap. And so if my flap is 4 1/4, that is 2 1/8 essentially. So I'm going to take a little pencil mark here at 2 1/8, and I'm going to go approximately halfway up here. And same thing down here, approximately 2 1/8. And at least I know I'm somewhere in the vicinity of being centered when I punch my holes and whatnot. And so I'm just going to take my paper punch and punch that hole. And that one. And then I need 2 brads. And I can use these pretty copper ones. They kind of work with our color here. So you just put your brad through that hole that you just punched in your button first. And then you take your button over to your folio and it goes through, and you open up those pegs. Now, I will tell you that if you're doing this to give away, you may want to go ahead and pop another piece of paper or tape or something over that so that, you know, it doesn't poke someone or something, because those brads have sharp edges on them. But for this project, I'm not going to take the time to redo or to cover it. So again, our brad goes through the hole here, through the hole on the flap, and it comes up. And you spread those and lay them out flat. And there you have that. Now, for mine, I just take, you can take twine, you could take, you can take embroidery floss, whatever you have. I happen to have, wax thread, my wax thread that I sew my journals with. That's what I'm going to use here. And so all I do is I tie through one of them. And, oh my goodness. Tie there. Pardon me. And then cut your string off. And then I wrap it. Shouldn't be this hard, but some days my days are hard. Around and around. Because it's basically just gonna, it doesn't need to be wrapped around like 16 times. I just wrap once or twice, and then pardon me, I grab a charm of some sort, and then I'll tie a charm onto this when I decide what theme or whatever I'm going to do, that I'm going to have that. So super easy to do these two things, just a double thickness of the manila file folder with a cover made from one of the pages that one of the papers that we've used here. And now all you have to do is decide how you're going to use it, what you're going to gift it for. Are you going to add, because you don't have to put a journal in here. You could, if you have family photos that are like 4x6, a bunch of 4x6 old photos that you want to gift to somebody, make an envelope with those and for those, and then they'll tuck perfectly inside here because we have 4.5 inches side to side. So 4x6 photos would fit perfectly in here. So you could have a collection of photos. You could have some smaller wallet photos or other small photos to add in here. You could tuck a little letter or some family history or something like that in here. And then you're completely giving a gift with gifts inside for to whomever. You can continue to decorate these up even more, adding additional embellishments onto the pockets, onto all of the things. You can add ribbons, you can add lace, you can add charms. Literally, there's just so many options. And like in this one, I just added this super simple little journal. The cover is just made out of a piece of heavyweight printed cardstock or scrapbook paper, and then I literally just put like 3 or 4 pieces of my hand-dyed lace papers in here, and then just coffee-dyed paper. I rounded all my corners to make it look a little bit more fancy. Added the 2 tuck spots so you could do a simple little journal. I mean, the opportunities and the possibilities for these little folios literally are endless. They're just an easy, fun, quick little project that can be a super high impact gift. So anyway, that is our flip up file folder folio. Flip up file folder folio. So here we go. We flip up, we flip out, and everything here is made from one single manila file folder. So find some friends, find some accountant friends that are finally done with taxes, and see if they have any file folders. If you don't have any yourself, clean out and combine some file folders and grab one and create this awesome little folio. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you'll take the time to stop and make one and post it and comment and tell me what you think. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've gotten something out of this tutorial, and I hope that you'll try and make one in your crafting time. I so appreciate you all being here on my junk journaling journey with me. And until the next time that we get together to craft and chat, I hope you guys stay well, be well, and we'll all chat again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.